Class 12th, Subject Physics, 6th chapter, Superposition of Waves. Superposition of waves. From this chapter, let us see the stationary waves, or also called as standing waves. So let us see what are the stationary waves or standing waves. So when two waves having same amplitude and same frequency travel along the same path in opposite direction and interfere with each other, then it will give rise to the stationary waves or standing waves. That is, when two waves which are having same frequency as well as same amplitude are traveling along the same line or same path exactly in opposite direction, then there will be interference or superposition between these two waves, and which will give rise to a stationary or standing wave. So how the formation of stationary waves takes place, that will be explained here with the help of a short experiment. So let us consider two rigid supports here. At P and Q there are two rigid supports. Then let this PQ, this represents a long string. Now we have considered a string which is stretched between two rigid supports. So between P and Q, these 2 points, that string will be stretched. Now if that string is pulled at its middle in upwards or downwards and then it is released, then at that time the progressive waves will travel on both sides towards the two rigid supports P and Q. So when jerk is given or when that string is pulled at its middle, then on either side of this position the progressive waves will be produced, and these waves, when the string is released, at that time these progressive waves travel towards the two rigid supports. Now when these waves reach to these supports, at that time from these two rigid supports these waves will get reflected back, and therefore there will be interference between the waves which are produced on the string and the waves which are reflected from the rigid support. So the waves which are produced on the string will travel towards the rigid support, and reflected waves from the rigid support will travel towards the middle of this string, and therefore there will be interference between the waves which are produced on the string and the waves which are reflected from the rigid support. And due to the interference between these two waves, a stationary wave will be produced or a standing wave will be produced along the length of the stretched string, that is between the two rigid supports. A stationary or standing wave will be produced. Then if you consider the standing wave or stationary wave, at some of the points there will be maximum amplitude of vibration. Such points are called as antinodes. So these are the antinodes, and there are some of the other points at which the amplitude is minimum, that is almost zero. These points are called as nodes, and therefore such type of stationary wave will produce alternate nodes and antinodes situated along the length of that wave. So in this way the antinodes and nodes will be alternately developed along the length of the string. So in this way, where there is maximum amplitude, these points will be called as antinode, and where the amplitude of the stationary wave is minimum, that is almost zero, it will be called as node. So this will be regarding the formation of these stationary waves. And now let us see the equation of a stationary wave which will be produced along the length of the string. So when any string is stretched, at that time the stationary wave will be produced there, and therefore what will be the equation of the stationary wave on a stretched string, that we will have to study. For that purpose, let us consider two simple harmonic progressive waves. Let us consider two simple harmonic progressive waves having equal amplitude A. A will represent amplitude of that each wave and wavelength lambda, and propagating on a long uniform string in opposite direction. So here we will have to study the superposition or interference of the two waves, and therefore these two waves must be traveling in opposite direction along the length of that uniform string. Then the equation of the wave traveling along positive direction of x-axis, that is positive direction of x-axis, if that wave is traveling, then its equation is given as y1 equal to a sin 2 pi nt minus x by lambda. So the general equation for a simple harmonic progressive wave is y is equal to a sin 2 pi t upon t minus x by lambda. But t upon capital T means n, and therefore it is written as y equal to a sin 2 pi nt minus x by lambda, where this a will represent amplitude of the wave, n will be the frequency, and lambda will be the wavelength. And therefore if that wave is traveling along positive direction of x-axis, then its displacement y1 will be equal to a sin 2 pi nt minus x by lambda. Let it be equation number 1. Similarly, the another wave which is traveling in the opposite direction, that is towards negative direction of x-axis, its displacement will be given as y2 equal to a sin 2 pi into nt plus x by lambda. y2 is equal to a sin 2 pi into nt plus x by lambda, equation number 2. So when these two waves having displacements y1 and y2 are traveling along positive direction of x-axis and negative direction of x-axis, they will interfere with each other, and therefore according to the principle of superposition of the waves, its resultant displacement y will be given as factor sum of the displacements due to two waves, that is y1 plus y2. Putting the values of y1 and y2, we will get a sin 2 pi into nt minus x by lambda plus a sin 2 pi nt plus x by lambda. So we have put here values of y1 and y2. From these two terms only a is common, and therefore we can write a into sin 2 pi nt minus x by lambda plus sin 2 pi nt plus x by lambda. So this will give rise to the equation, that is y is equal to that equation. Now if you consider this term, it is sin 2 pi into nt minus x by lambda and sin 2 pi nt plus x by lambda. This will be considered to similar that of sin c plus sin d. C will be 2 pi nt minus x by lambda, d will be 2 pi nt plus x by lambda, and therefore in this way we can write the formula for expansion of that term, that is by using sin c plus sin d. Sin c plus sin d will be equal to 2 sin. It will be equal to 2 sin c plus d by 2 into cos c minus d by 2. So sin c plus sin d will be equal to 2 sin c plus d by 2 into cos c minus d by 2. So by using this formula, we get y is equal to 2a. From that formula, 2 is there, therefore along with a, 2a will be there. 2a into bracket sin 2 pi. 2 pi is common between c and d, therefore we can write sin 2 pi into c plus d, that is nt minus x by lambda plus nt plus x by lambda divided by 2, c plus d by 2, then into cos 2 pi nt minus x by lambda minus nt minus x by lambda upon 2, that is c minus d upon 2. Then here nt minus x by lambda plus nt plus x by lambda minus x by lambda plus x by lambda will get cancelled. Then nt plus nt, that is 2nt upon 2 will get cancelled, and therefore we will get only nt along with this 2 pi, so that 2 pi nt will be the value of this. Similarly here nt minus x by lambda minus nt minus x by lambda upon 2, nt and minus nt will get cancelled. Minus x by lambda minus x by lambda, that is minus 2 x by lambda, and divided by 2 is there, therefore we will get only here x by lambda. Here it will be only x by lambda, which is minus, but is here cos of minus theta will be equal to simply cos theta, and therefore though it is minus, it will be taken as plus, and therefore we can write 2a as it is into sin 2 pi nt into cos of 2 pi x by lambda. Actually this term was cos of minus 2 pi x by lambda, but cos of minus theta is equal to cos theta, and therefore we can write it as cos 2 pi x by lambda. Then rearranging the terms, we can write that equation as y is equal to 2a cos 2 pi x by lambda, 2a cos 2 pi x by lambda into sin 2 pi nt, and therefore if we put the value of this term, that is 2a cos 2 pi x by lambda as a, so putting 2a cos 2 pi x by lambda equal to a, that is the amplitude of the resultant wave, then we will get that equation as y is equal to a sin, y is equal to capital A into sin 2 pi nt, y is equal to a sin 2 pi nt. So this equation does not contain the term x by lambda as per equation 1 and equation 2. So this term in that equation represents progressive wave. As this term is absent in the equation of resultant wave, this resultant wave will not be a progressive wave, but it will be the stationary wave or standing wave, and therefore y equal to a sin 2 pi nt is the equation of stationary or standing wave. So this wave will not propagate through the medium. Now 2 pi n is equal to omega, and therefore y will be equal to a sin omega t. This form will also represent the equation of stationary wave or standing wave, equation number 3, since we have written here omega equal to 2 pi n, omega equal to 2 pi n. So this will be regarding the equation of stationary wave. Now already we have seen that the stationary waves or the standing waves consists of, it will contain alternate the nodes and antinodes. So alternate nodes and antinodes will be present along the stationary or standing wave, and therefore as it contains alternate nodes and antinodes, therefore we will have to find out the conditions for node and antinodes. So let us see first of all what is the condition for the formation of node. So we know that nodes are the points of the minimum displacement. The nodes are the points of minimum displacement, and this is possible if the amplitudes are minimum. The amplitude must be minimum at that point, that is almost 0, that is A will be equal to 0. So this amplitude A of the stationary wave must be equal to 0 for the formation of this node. So because these nodes are the points of 0 or minimum amplitude, and therefore A must be equal to 0 for the nodes. So for nodes we can write A is equal to 0. Now value of A is 2A cos 2 pi x by lambda, and therefore 2A cos 2 pi x by lambda must be equal to 0. Now if 2A cos 2 pi x by lambda equal to 0, 2A will never be 0, and therefore cos 2 pi x by lambda must be equal to 0. As it is the amplitude of that wave will not be equal to 0, and therefore cos 2 pi x by lambda must be equal to 0. So that A will be equal to 0, and therefore we can write cos 2 pi x by lambda equal to 0. Now if cos of this angle 2 pi x by lambda is equal to 0, that means we will have to write the value of this angle, that is 2 pi x by lambda here, for which the values of its cos will be equal to 0, and therefore 2 pi x by lambda, this angle will be having its values starting from 0. We can write it will be pi by 2, then 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2. All these angles will be having their values of cos will be equal to 0, and therefore at these phases we will get formation of nodes, and therefore x will be equal to, as it is 2 pi x by lambda is having its first value equal to pi by 2. Therefore we can write x must be having its value equal to lambda by 4. So if we put the value of x equal to lambda by 4 here, if we put here lambda by 4, and if you solve this, then we will get first value pi by 2. Then if you put value of x 3 lambda by 4 here, in place of x 3 lambda by 4, and simplify it, then we will get 3 pi by 2. So in this way, for these positions, that is lambda by 4, 3 lambda by 4, 5 lambda by 4, from the fixed end of that wave we will get the formation of node. So when x is equal to lambda by 4, that is distance from the fixed position equal to lambda by 4, 3 lambda by 4, or like this, then at that time we will get the formation of node. Then in general we can write that x equal to 2p minus 1, as it is 1, 3, 5, these are the odd numbers, therefore it will be written as 2p minus 1 into lambda by 4. In general the nodes will be formed at the positions 2p minus 1, lambda by 4, where p takes values 1, 2, 3 and so on. Then from this equation we can say that the distance between two successive nodes, will be equal to lambda by 2. So if you consider this as the first node, this as the second, then 3 lambda by 4 and lambda by 4, difference between these two, that is distance between these two successive nodes, will be equal to lambda by 2. Similarly, distance between these two that is 5 lambda by 4 minus 3 lambda by 4. Again we will get it as lambda by 2, and therefore we can say that the distance between two successive nodes is lambda by 2. That means if you consider distance between two successive nodes, between these two nodes or between these two nodes, then this distance will be equal to lambda by 2, that is half of its wavelength. Now similarly we can find the conditions for antinodes. Conditions for antinodes. Now antinodes are the points along the stationary waves which are having maximum displacement. These points are of maximum displacement, and this maximum displacement will be possible if the amplitude is maximum, that is A is equal to plus or minus 2a. If you consider again A, that is amplitude, that is 2a cos 2 pi x by lambda, then it must be having its value maximum, and that will be equal to plus minus 2a. It will be plus minus 2a. Therefore we can write 2a cos 2 pi x by lambda must be equal to plus minus 2a. Plus minus 2a, or cos 2 pi x by lambda, cos 2 pi x by lambda must be equal to plus minus 1, because as it is 2a, so this will be 2a, the value of this cos 2 pi x by lambda must be plus or minus 1. So cos 2 pi x by lambda must be equal to plus or minus 1. Now we will have to find out these angles whose values of cos are either plus 1 or minus 1, and therefore we can write 2 pi x by lambda equal to 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and so on. So for these values, the cos of their value will be equal to either plus 1 or minus 1, and therefore here 2 pi x by lambda is having its value, first value 0. Therefore if we put the value of x equal to 0, we will get here 0. If we put value of x as lambda by 2 in place of x lambda by 2, then we will get here pi. If it is replaced by, that is in place of x, if we put 3 lambda by 2, 3 lambda by 2, then we will get here 2 pi. So in this way, for these positions, there will be formation of antinodes. For these values of x, that is position, there will be formation of antinodes. So in general, we can write x equal to p lambda by 2, p lambda by 2. It is p lambda by 2 where p takes values 1, 2, 3 and so on. So these are the values of p. So this will be the condition for formation of antinodes. Again, if you consider these positions, then between these two successive antinodes, that is lambda by 2 minus 0, that distance will be equal to lambda by 2. Between these two successive antinodes, that is 3 lambda by 2 and lambda by 2, again difference between these two distances will be equal to lambda by 2, and therefore similar to that of nodes, for antinodes again the distance between two successive antinodes is lambda by 2. The distance between two successive antinodes is equal to lambda by 2, and therefore we can say that in case of stationary waves, the distance between two successive nodes or antinodes is equal to lambda by 2. So if you consider distance between two successive nodes or two successive antinodes, then it will be equal to lambda by 2. But the distance between a node, and adjacent antinode will be equal to lambda by 4. Distance between a node and adjacent antinode is equal to lambda by 4. That means the distance between a node and the adjacent antinode will be having distance between them as lambda by 4 because it is half of the loop. So distance between two successive nodes or antinodes will be equal to lambda by 2, and distance between a node and adjacent antinode, this distance will be equal to lambda by 4. So this will be regarding the formation of stationary waves.